This week on the Brody File, our West Coast show. We head to California to explore the troubling transgender bathroom law that's now on the books.
I pulled my 13-year-old son out of school. He is not going back to the junior high school for more of this social indoctrination.
Also, former presidential candidate Rick Santorum takes on Hollywood. Meet the pro-family movie executive like you've never seen him before. This is your movie executive look.
Yeah, no tie, you know, little colored shirt. I mean, you're into the colored stuff. That's
Clearly
that's the Brody look.
And the touching story of Cameron needing a heart and getting a helping hand.
If we didn't believe that God was going to take us through this, then I don't know how we'd do it.
The Brody File is on the West Coast in very foggy San Francisco and in Sacramento. And we're in Seattle on the Puget Sound. Are you kidding me? The West Coast Brody File show is next. And welcome everybody to the Brody File. I have to tell you, I really have to tell you that, look, we could have been right in front of the Golden Gate Bridge. Look at this picture. That's what we were looking for. Instead, well, hey, it's a little foggy here in San Francisco, but we are glad to be here nonetheless. All right, let's start off our West Coast trip with this story, and it involves the governor, Jerry Brown. That's right, the liberal Democrat governor who has signed a bill called basically the Transgender Bathroom Bill law, and oh boy, is it causing a boatload of controversy. California isn't exactly known as a conservative stronghold, and now liberal lawmakers are pushing even further. Democratic Governor Jerry Brown just signed a law stating that transgender students can choose which restrooms they want to use and whether they want to play boys or girls sports. LA and San Francisco already took this action, but it's the first time a transgender law like this made it to the state level. It's all cloaked under the guise of fairness.
No student can learn if they feel like they have to hide who they are at school or if they are singled out for unequal treatment.
Supporters say it's important that transgender students feel comfortable and not isolated.
It's going to take away that extra pressure of not knowing where to go and not knowing what classes you're going to be in and not being treated as the same as all the other boys or girls in your school.
The Democrats control the state capital agenda up here in Sacramento, but there is one guy inside, Assemblyman Tim Donnelly, a conservative Republican, who has said he's had enough. He's pulling his kid out of school.
The public schools are no longer interested in education. They become government indoctrination centers.
So the assemblyman from Southern California made a strong choice.
I pulled my 13-year-old son out of school. He is not going back to the junior high school for more of this social indoctrination. To me, they ought to be talking about reading, writing, and arithmetic, not sexual identity politics.
And he's not the only one who feels that way. Social conservative groups want the law stopped, and it will take 500,000 signatures to let California voters decide the law's fate next November.
It's going to require hundreds of thousands of signatures to be gathered, but we certainly believe it's something that the people of California across the ideological spectrum want to see.
I have never seen anything unite parents. There's a movement. I'm calling it Parents United.
Stories about special rights for transgender students are cropping up all over the nation. A Wisconsin elementary school now has something called Switch It Up Day, where kids wear clothing of the opposite sex. In Colorado, a first grader who was born as a boy won a court case after being banned from the girls' restroom at school. Donnelly believes this is going too far when statistics show just 0.3% of people are transgender in America.
You don't have the right to violate the civil rights of 99% of the population because 1% of the population is suffering from a disorder.
But transgender groups won't stop pushing for equal access, even if many think they've gone too far.
This bill is 3 bridges too far. It's not 1 bridge too far. And they're burning the bridges.
All right, we continue on from very windy and foggy and overall kind of dreary San Francisco. Now, Here is one story that is not dreary at all. As a matter of fact, it's pretty uplifting. A couple hours south of here, Fresno, California, there's a man by the name of Andy Vidak. He's a cherry farmer, but guess what? He's not down on the farm. He has now made it to Sacramento, the state capital. He is a state senator, and it's quite an interesting story. It looks like a typical swearing-in ceremony.
I, Andy Vidak, do solemnly swear. Do solemnly swear.
But California State Senator Andy Vidak will tell you that the ride to get here was anything but typical.
What a long, strange trip it's been.
Vidak may look like a state senator when he takes the floor, but at heart, he's still a cherry farmer from the Central California Valley. He brings his lunch to work. He wears his cowboy hat during off hours and drives his faithful pickup truck, which has about 300,000 miles on it. Oh, and please don't call him Senator.
I'm just Andy.
Andy enjoyed life as a farmer and rancher, but as time went on, he watched environmental policies devastate California's economy. For example, farmers can only receive a small portion of water in order to protect fish.
We've got some radical environmentalism that has pushed it a little bit too far, well, actually a long way too far. And when we start putting insects and plants and animals ahead of human beings, I don't agree with those types of things.
So the question is, how did Andy Vidak do it? How did an obscure cherry farmer south of Fresno, California, end up here at the state capitol in Sacramento? He did it with the help from Hispanics in his district. But what really caught the nation's attention is that he won against an Hispanic woman in a district that's 60% Hispanic and heavily favors Democrats.
I don't see colors. I mean, it was just about going and talking about common sense, values, common sense, because there is no party lines with common sense.
Nationally, the Republican Party is still trying to gain more of the Hispanic vote. As the Latino population increases its share of the electorate, their future votes are crucial to the GOP. So what can they learn from Vidak's victory? Well, it helped that he speaks fluent Spanish, but also his working class roots, pro-family values, and community involvement really cemented the bond.
I cooked menudo for 9 hours in 98-degree heat. But I went to that not because they were Hispanic, but because there was 10,000 people there. And, you know, we just have to go out and talk to folks. You know, I don't ride a white horse. I'm not a silver bullet.
That underscores a larger point: authenticity. He didn't treat Hispanics as a political talking point, something that couldn't be said about his opponent. Opponent Leticia Perez received heavy criticism after attempting to attract churchgoers by using the image of Our Lady of Guadalupe in a campaign flyer. The lesson? Overtly political moves will not work with Latinos. And then there is immigration, a position where Vidak showed compassion by embracing a pathway to citizenship for illegal immigrants.
I don't believe in breaking up families. Folks have broken the law to come here, but then there's a bunch of minors that came that, you know, they had no choice in the matter. And, you know, we have to look at that.
And so there you have it, a lesson for the GOP from Andy Vidak: compassion, authenticity, and time spent with Hispanics, plus a pro-family message. Vidak also knows his victory included one more vital element: a faith in Jesus Christ.
I don't know how you could be a farmer and not have a lot of faith in God and know that He's in charge, and you know, you need to work as hard as you can, but and create all the opportunities you can. But at the same time, you know, there's a higher power. You know, Jesus Christ is my Savior, and through that all things are possible. And here I am in Sacramento.
A pretty neat character, that Andy Vidak. All right, when we come back, we are going to change locations. We're not going to be in San Francisco. Wait till you see where we are next. Also, you're going to meet 7-year-old Cameron. He needs a heart, and help is hopefully on the way.
Hi, my name is Breda. I'm just your typical 9-year-old. I love singing, dancing, reading, discovering the simple truth. My grandpa says you're never too young or old to learn the value of a dollar. He taught me the true value of this paper dollar. You see this little gold coin? It says $1 on it. But guess what? That was a long time ago. Today, this gold dollar is worth over 100 paper dollars. This paper dollar is now only worth 1 penny compared to America's former money, the gold dollar. My grandpa says the only money worth saving today is real money. gold or silver coins. He's pretty smart. How our paper dollars lost their value, he says. It's all explained in a new book, The Great Debasement. It's easy and fun to read. If you call the number on the screen, I will send you a copy totally free. Next time, I will explain the simple truth about money.
Help! If an emergency happened right now, you can have help at the push of a button with Medical Alert.
Remember when I took that fall, Mary?
Oh, yes, that was terrible.
Yes, it was. Help! And I thought, what if you hadn't been there? I ordered my Medical Alert the next day.
I can't describe how safe I feel now with my Medical Alert. You didn't know I was wearing it, did you?
Medical Alert is easy to install, waterproof, and covers you inside your home and out.
It helps me feel safe from fires, break-ins.
And of course, a Medical Alert. And if you don't have a home phone, don't worry. They have that covered.
There's always help at the push of a button. Don't wait till you need it.
Get Medical Alert for less than $1 a day. There are no long-term contracts. Order now and get your second button free. Call for your free brochure.
For your free Medical Alert system with second button free, call 800-575-8507.
And welcome back to the Brody File, everybody. Look at this. We were just in San Francisco, and now, poof, we are here on the Puget Sound in Seattle. We're actually on a ferry on the way to Bainbridge Island. Look, 3 hours from here, there is a small town, Richland, Washington, in southeastern Washington. There's a woman by the name of Baronelle Stutzman, and boy, does she have a story to tell. An evangelical florist who is in some trouble with the gay community. Can you take us back to that day and what happened from that day exactly? They walk in, or what happens exactly?
Rob came in by himself, and I greeted him, and we chit-chatted a little bit, and then he said, we're going to get married. And as soon as he said that, I knew that there would be a problem there, and I just put my hands on his, and I said, I'm sorry, Rob, I can't do your wedding because of my relationship with Jesus Christ. And he said, I understand. He said, I respect your opinion. And I asked him how they got engaged and what was going on, and we chit-chatted for a while, and I hugged him, and he hugged me, and he left. And I figured that we both agreed, and that was the end of the story.
But it wasn't the end of the story.
Somebody called my husband and said, I understand you're being sued. And he said, we are? He goes, yeah. So he hangs up the phone, he says, we're being sued. I said, we are? And then a knock on the door, and we got the summons.
Were you surprised at all about the big deal this has caused? You know, all the media attention and everything? I mean, does this surprise you, or doesn't it surprise you?
Yeah, it surprised me.
Why's that?
I've learned a lot, yes. I've learned new words that I didn't know existed. I had to look them up, and I've learned that people are very opinionated one way or the other, and that people are concerned now. They're starting to stand up. They're starting to realize that things are being taken away from us, and you can't take my God.
Talk to me about your Christian faith and why that's so important in your life, exactly.
Well, I try to run my life as God would have me run it, and it is in the Bible that marriage between two of the same sex is abomination to the Lord. And I believe that, and I have no right to judge Rob. I never told him he couldn't get married. I just believe that marriage is between a man and a woman. How are you being kind of treated by folks? I mean, they kind of know a little bit about what's going on, I would think. They're awesome. Absolutely awesome. We've had great support. We've had our negatives, but probably 90% has been positive. We've had people come in the store supporting us, giving money to our fund, just coming and say, I don't know what I want, but I want to buy something to support you.
Is that right?
We've had cards and letters and phone calls, and it's just been phenomenal. Very blessed. All right, when we come back, we go back to San Francisco and we talk movies and politics with Rick Santorum. Back in a moment.
Attention sleep apnea patients. Are you tired of the expense and hassle of getting your CPAP and BiPAP supplies? Are you fed up with dealing with ill-fitting, leaking, or worn-out masks and straps? Are you worried about the effects that unsanitary tubes, cushions, and filters have on your health? If you said yes to any of these questions, Allied Medical Supply Network has the solution to your problems. You could qualify to have your supplies regularly delivered right to your door at little or no cost to you. That's right, no more inconvenience, no worn-out masks and straps, no more unsanitary equipment, just restful sleep. Call Allied Medical Supply Network today to determine if you may qualify to receive your fresh, brand name supplies at little or no cost. Don't delay. Call us now to see if you are eligible to save money on regular delivery of your CPAP and BiPAP supplies. Call 1-800-815-9947. That's 1-800-815-9947. Or go to cpapsupplyhelpline.com.
I grew up being taught not to question God.
Don't come back now, Brady, you hear me?
But when you're caged in the back of a cattle hauler, you want to know. Where is God?
That was a clip from Seasons of Grey, a modern-day story of Joseph, a new pro-family movie coming to a theater near you. Welcome back, everybody, to windy, blustery, foggy San Francisco. What a beautiful view. Oh, never mind. Not that beautiful a view. Here's a little JPEG picture. Boom. Okay, there, you get the idea. That's really what we wanted to show you. All right, anyhow, look, Rick Santorum, he is president, CEO of Echolite Studios, and he is behind that clip, Seasons of Grey, modern day Joseph story, because he has started this whole new movement where he's going for pro-family, faith-based movies. We had a chance to sit down and talk to him recently back in our Brody File studios.
You sit here in Washington, D.C., and you see how what goes on here is not, there's nobody leading here. They follow here. They follow what? They follow the culture. Who's pushing the culture? Not us, not Washington, D.C. It's the entertainment industry. I think it was Aristotle who said, give me the storytellers and I will control the country in a generation. Well, who tells the stories? Well, 100 years ago it was the church. It was the family. It was the neighborhood, the library. Today, it's Hollywood. And they're telling a story that's moving our culture all the way over to where they are. And unless we provide you, the audience out here, the tools to push back. In other words, give you the tools to go out and not only reinforce your own values, which is what these films will do, but give you the opportunity to say, hey, to a friend, come and see this movie. It's good entertainment, you'll enjoy it, and by the way, the messages are on point to where we need to be going as a culture. One of the things that I said I wanted to do at Echolite is to have authentic storytelling of the role that faith plays in people's lives. God is alive and active in so many people's lives. We have so many stories to tell.
That is Rick Santorum here on the Brody File. All right, when we come back, biking or taking a car? Well, out here on the West Coast, it's all about the bicycle. We explain when we come back.
Announcing an important breakthrough in healthcare that can benefit everyone. If you or anyone you love needs affordable health insurance, regardless of a pre-existing medical condition, call Quick Insurance 123 today and get the immediate relief you deserve. Quick Insurance 123 was created to provide affordable health insurance to all uninsured Americans, with or without pre-existing conditions. This is not a discount card. This is a real insurance program that lets you choose from many affordable health plans, with access to doctors, hospitals, emergency services, and more. So call the number on your screen now and get the health coverage you need, just for calling. As a special bonus, we'll send you a free prescription savings card that could save you up to 85% on your prescriptions. That's right, you could save up to 85% on your prescriptions, just for calling. Call Quick Insurance 123 to find out how you can get affordable health insurance and receive your free prescription savings card, just for calling. Don't wait. Getting a free quote is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Call today.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Brody File here in Seattle. All right, look, it's the Pacific Northwest, and what do the folks do up here? Well, besides being a bit liberal, they also ride their bikes a lot. Now, we've got a coworker who rides his bike a lot. You know what his name is? Paul Strand. That's right, everywhere. He bikes to work, he bikes everywhere. So what better person to do a story about biking in the Pacific Northwest than Paul? And believe me, when it comes to bikes over cars, it's actually pretty economical.
Several things keep most people from even considering bike commuting. They think it's too hard, too slow, too unsafe, too impractical. But a city like Portland, Oregon can convince you otherwise. Nationwide, about 1 out of every 200 people bikes to work. In Portland, it's 6 out of 200, a rate 600% higher. Dan Burton uses one of those trails to bike 20 miles round trip to his office every day.
Getting out, getting your blood pumping makes me feel great, and I have all kinds of energy when I get to work.
Dan happens to be my cousin, and unbeknownst to each other, decades ago, he started doing his 20-mile commute on the West Coast, while I started doing my 22-mile daily ride on the East Coast. But is the biking lifestyle safe? Most years, somewhere around 700 or 800 Americans die bicycling. And more than 90% of those are caused by collisions with cars or trucks. But about half of those are avoidable. They involve people biking at night without lights. Still, a recent study shows that during an hour of biking compared to an hour of driving, the people in the cars are twice as likely to be killed in an accident as are the folks on the bikes. And following a few simple rules would prevent most of the bike deaths altogether. But the things to concentrate on are the benefits of biking, which one study showed outweigh the risk by about 20 to 1. Biking 30 minutes a day meets the daily exercise requirements for healthy living and fights obesity.
I'm also saving a lot of money biking instead of driving. For instance, the average car costs about $7,000 a year to own and operate. Biking, just about $120. So I'm saving around $500 a month.
That is Paul Strand here on the Brody File. All right, look, from a heart-pounding story about bicycling to a heart-warming story in Seattle. What a story. Cameron, 7 years old, and he needs a heart transplant, and I have to tell you, there is a woman that has, in essence, come to his rescue in a unique sort of way.
The Man of Steel!
Watch out, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman 2. Time to step aside. The new superheroes are in town. Meet Super Anthony, Super Remedy, Super Mikey, and there are thousands more like them. Young children across America outfitted with superhero capes as they battle the forces of disease. The force behind this league is Robin Rosenberger, owner of Tiny Superheroes in Seattle. Last year, she made a few capes for fun, and then she sent one to a girl with a severe skin condition. Then a few other sick kids too. And now, the closet cape is full with requests pouring in from almost everywhere. 1,700 kids around the country wear these capes, branded with their first initial for the whole world to see. Robin quit her job as a software manager to keep up with the demand.
It's quite life-changing to, first of all, know how many kids are out there that are dealing with something quite extreme. And then it's also just been life-changing to see how a pretty simple piece of fabric can really change the perspective on what's going on.
That piece of simple fabric is important to 7-year-olds like one-of-a-kind Super Cameron.
Super Cameron is amazing. I love him.
He was adopted a few days after his birth, and then at age 2, doctors diagnosed him with restrictive cardiomyopathy, a fatal heart condition. Without a heart transplant, soon he'll die.
The issue is that they go into sudden cardiac death. So it's something where you have no warning. It just all of a sudden the heart stops.
He is now first on the transplant list, and that means carrying a pager at all times, ready and hopeful that it will bring good news. Why is it going to beep?
Because they might have a heart.
Cameron is no doubt deserving of his superhero cape. One time during a 3-day hospital stay, doctors took 16 tubes of blood, but Cameron was concerned with normal kid stuff.
Every time the doctor comes in, I ask her, can I have a bicycle? Can I have a bicycle?
Those times in the hospital did make him think of what he wants to be when he grows up.
I want to be a doctor.
Why do you want to be a doctor?
Because I want to help other kids to be healthy.
Maybe helping others will come soon for Super Cameron, but right now he just can't do normal kid stuff, and that's why his cape is so important to him.
It helps with his confidence. Like when he's outside playing with his friends and they want to like go play ball, he's like, hey, let's play superheroes, and I got a cape, and so we can do this and that, and it kind of keeps things localized and it keeps things at his level and gives him some control over his life.
Cameron's family knows that ultimately God is in control of it all.
If we didn't believe that God was going to take us through this, then I don't know how we'd do it.
Cameron's mom set up a Facebook page called Psalm 147:3, the verse in the Bible about how God heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds.
It just seemed so fitting because Cameron's heart is broken and he's going to have to get a lot of wounds in order to fix his heart. So that verse just really spoke to me.
And as Cameron prayerfully waits for his new heart, He plays with his sidekick brother, Spencer, and he reads up on his Bible.
I got a huge Bible.
You got a huge Bible?
Yeah.
We here at the Brody File wish Cameron all the best. All right, we're back in a moment from a secret location. That won't be a secret in a moment.
Grace, music is unpredictable.
I know I have what it takes.
The Dove Foundation raves. Grace Unplugged is remarkable and inspiring.
This is not about the music, it's about everything else that goes with it.
Dad, were you watching me?
A moving and meaningful film.
This book, his words shook me. It was like my whole world.
That parents and teens should see together, says Focus on the Family.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna drag her back home?
Yeah, I might. I think maybe you're fighting God. Just stop running.
Grace Unplugged, rated PG, now playing. If you had a choice between going bald and a full head of hair, which would you choose? Advances in medical science have resulted in the world's first and only permanent solution to hair loss.
Yes!
You wash it, you cut it. It's your own real, naturally growing hair. When it comes to hair restoration, no one in the world has more experience than Bosley. The results look completely natural and are affordable on nearly any budget. But the entire process can't be explained in 60 brief seconds. So to find out more about this clinically proven and permanent solution to hair loss, call now to receive your free no-obligation information kit. It'll answer all of your questions about hair loss and hair restoration. Plus, we'll also send you this $250 gift certificate just for calling. Every day you wait, you're losing more hair. So don't put it off any longer. You owe it to yourself to find out the facts. Choose hair. Choose Bosley.
Call 800-868-9957. That's 800-868-9957.
Grace, music is unpredictable.
I know I have what it takes.
The Dove Foundation raves. Grace Unplugged is remarkable and inspiring.
This is not about the music, it's about everything else that goes with it.
Dad, were you watching me?
A moving and meaningful film.
This book, his words shook me. It was like my whole world.
That parents and teens should see together, says Focus on the Family.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna drag her back home?
Yeah, I might. I think maybe you're fighting God. Just stop running.
Grace Unplugged, rated PG, now playing.
And welcome back to the Brody File, everybody. And look where we are. We're in Sacramento, California. We were just in freezing Seattle. Now we're in sunny, hot Sacramento. Hey, look, it's time for the Oy Vey moment of the week. And we came to Sacramento because the last time I was in Sacramento, look at this. Yes, that could be Oy Vey moment of the week, banging into a wall. Or, hey, we're in Sacramento. The Sacramento Kings could be the Oy Vey moment of the week. But no. Instead, we've got a wonderful Oy Vey moment of the week. You know, the Democratic-controlled legislature up here in Sacramento does a lot of strange things. Well, how about this bill that's been introduced where basically they want to tax, that's right, tax the Boy Scouts and the Little League Baseball. They want to make them no longer tax-exempt organizations because they may be discriminatory. That's right, discriminatory.
But if you choose to discriminate, you shouldn't be entitled to a tax break that we give you that's paid for and supported by all Californians.
That story makes us want to take 2 Excedrin. All right, that does it for this West Coast trip edition of the Brody File from Sacramento to Seattle to San Francisco. Sayonara. Well, we weren't in Japan, but anyhow, sayonara on the Brody.